Now, I know I didn't pick Nebraska to win this game. However, of course, as the game goes on, right, you get hope. You see how it plays out. And here's the thing. Nebraska gave up, 8 sacks? They gave upwards of 20 pressures in this game. 20 pressures in a single game on top of 7 or 8 sacks. The offensive line play
That's it.
was completely inexcusable, in my opinion. I don't think that's a wild opinion, but I'm not trying to bash on the O-line too much, but Gunnar Gatula was getting beat like he stole something today. Teddy Prohaska getting beat.
Is this working?
Constantly.
Is this thing on?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. I wasn't muted at all the first time, just so you know.
Oh,
everything was.
I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I don't know if they could hear, but yeah, I got this handy just in case we need it. What were you guys? What were we talking about here? What's going on, guys? Yeah.
So,
what a game! What a game! How are you feeling? First off, Brian.
I'm pissed off.
I'm feeling.
I will admit,
better than I thought I would be.
I'm glad they fought till the end. Right. That's good.
Yeah. But I'm upset for a lot of reasons. We'll go over that. But I'm not like crash out angry.
No. I am that mad about certain aspects of it.
Yeah.
But what pisses me off more than anything is you got beat on 3 plays, really, in that final drive.
Yeah.
You gave up 300 yards rushing.
I think the hardest part of this is I'm tweeting mid-game, deleting things because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I started to type out open field tackling is the difference in this game. But then I think to myself, but O-line's the difference in this game. But D-line's the difference in this game. And then I think to myself, if we win in one of those areas, like one of those, we win this game.
Let's take it
Not
back
all
to
three of those, just
drive.
one of those.
Yeah.
Third
that
down.
Final drive. My notes here. Michigan's final drive, 16 plays.
Yeah.
They were 1 of 8 on third down prior to that drive.
Yeah.
Then they converted 3 third and mediums or third and longs.
Yeah.
Back to back to back.
Did you see what I tweeted?
And they all were a result of broken tackles.
100%. And that drive was the difference between a team that's been winning in recent years and a team that hasn't. That was my tweet that I put out because that epitomized it. Because on those third downs, like you said, we had missed tackles. On those first 2, like that third down, I was so frustrated by the first 2, I wasn't even like paying attention because I was just so mad that we gave up the other 2 that would have kept them out of field goal range. We make those first 2 tackles in the open field. I mean, you got to stop right there on their side of the field with good field position opportunity. Yeah. And I think it was Sierra missed that tackle, trying to tackle him too high and misses that tackle. That right there was the difference between a team that's won in recent years and a team that's lost in recent years. And the difference, I mean, honestly, Michigan made their tackles, Nebraska didn't. Honestly, if we tackle, we win this game. And there's a lot of things we can point to, but like the thing that stood out to me most, outside of the things that we knew, offensive line, defensive line, like we knew those things going into it, right? But Nebraska was 5th in tackle rate coming into this game. Michigan was like 15th, so they're a good tackling team. But Nebraska was 5th in tackle rate, and that got exposed today. And that really was what irked me because if you simply just tackle, if you make the tackle in 3 plays, the game's difference. It's frustrating.
Looking through my notes here, what's really frustrating is you gave up over 300 yards to 3 different, 100 yards basically to 3 guys.
Yep.
Which you knew was going to be the focus. And talking about these third downs,
explosive
what
plays.
Drives me nuts is, that it was like 3rd and 10, I believe. 3rd and 10. Yeah, that's what my notes says. 3rd and 10. There's about 4.5 minutes left in the game. And they do not trust Bryce Underwood to throw the ball.
Correct.
And the linebackers bailed out at the snap. They were mugging the line and they bailed out like they were expecting a pass. And in my mind, I'm thinking they're not running it. Why? Because they don't trust him. And two, they're going to run it to either make you burn a timeout or get themselves into a more manageable field goal and burn clock.
Yeah.
Like, I think everybody in that stadium knew they were running, and the defensive call on that play made zero sense to me. Why you would bail out and do a huge zone coverage on 3rd and 10 with a quarterback who, quite frankly, I didn't think was very good.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be good, but he is not good right now.
In his defense, his receivers didn't help him at all.
They did have a lot
at all. So I gotta give him a little bit of grace there because his receivers didn't help him at all. You know, he had opportunities to throw touchdowns and get in rhythm, but his receivers weren't helping him. And for Nebraska offensively, man, I mean, we averaged like I forget. I saw the stats somewhere. I forget where I saw it, but taking sacks out of it, 1.4 yards per carry going into like right before our last drive there where we scored that touchdown, we were averaging 1.4 yards per carry. And so we're not running the ball. We can't stop the run. And then of course the two big missed penalties, and I don't put the game on this at all, but of course the two big ones, the two misses would have led to automatic first downs for Nebraska. That pass interference where he got there early, I'm sorry, but that is a big play. That drive continues, and they score the next play on a long touchdown run, or in the next couple plays on a long touchdown run. You know, so that was frustrating, but it's hard to even because that took momentum away. But I still feel like the game was so close. The passing offense and the passing defense, just think about saying that last year. You know,
yeah, I know, right?
Passing offense, passing defense were the strength of this game, and look like they're going to be the strength of this season. The running back room again, it just has so much potential. I just don't know what the identity is outside of Emmett.
It seems completely lost.
We need some kind of identity outside of Emmett. We need a game plan of when X comes into the game, not we can expect this, but I don't know what each is being utilized for. When Emmett's in there, I feel 100% comfortable and confident about whatever play is coming. When the other ones are in there, we haven't seen enough of a plan with them to get them in any kind of a rhythm. Again, kind of similar to what we kind of saw last year with the rotation. But I felt like last year we had more of a solidified two-back versus this year. Now I just feel like we need to really kind of solidify that second back and really try to get somebody else in a rhythm. So that way, if Emmett isn't going, we can try to get somebody else the hot hand. Justice Haynes wasn't the only one ripping off big runs. Their backup running back ripped off a 50-something yarder. That's big when your backup running back can come in and do that.
Yeah, and Bryce had a beautiful 35-yard run in the first quarter. I mean, my note on the play was the entire coverage was in zone except the middle linebacker, who clearly didn't get the right call because he ran with the flare when the rest of the D was in zone, which opened up the middle of the field, and it was a QB draw, so it was perfect.
Yep.
I don't know what the call was, but based on the entire coverage being in zone except for him tells me he ran the wrong play.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that was that. I think that's the why this isn't maybe infuriating to us is because a lot of what we expected, a lot of what we saw versus Cincinnati reared up. And I think me and you anticipated a lot of that. We had hoped we could outcoach it and coach a lot of it out of it, but we knew that would be a problem. And I knew Bryce
would
trouble. But
I'll tell you, I figured Nebraska would struggle to stop the run. I did not expect 300 yards rushing.
Yeah, the frustrating part is if you look at the hard part is I want to look back and see how many of that was defensive scheme breakdowns and how many of that was missed tackles and how many I can't wait to see how many yards after contact. Because what did I talk about? What was my biggest key against Michigan? Tackling. Because what did I say? 3.13 yards per contact. Or yards after contact against
that turned to 3 yard, you're running to a 6 yard run.
Dude, they had 176 yards after contact at Central Michigan, and I pointed that number out. 3.13 yards per carry extra per carry they got.
Yeah.
Because of missed tackles against Central Michigan. They are a team that takes advantage of you, and they will run through a bad tackling team, and that's exactly what they did. And that is, I think that's the most frustrating part to me, is just simple tackling. You know, we go back to when Georgia Southern beat Nebraska. The biggest problem with that defense, we could not tackle to save our life. Now, this is a whole different animal. This is a whole different animal. This team could tackle way better than that team could. But back then, it was getting back to the basics and teaching them. You know, it talked about, was it Bill Bush that took over? Talked about learning how to just fill your gaps, you know, learning how to fill your gap responsibility, learning how to break down it and properly tackle. I don't know why that's still an issue.
I saw a lot of not breaking down today. In fact,
running full speed and throwing a shoulder at somebody.
Yeah, on the 75-yard touchdown run, right after Dylan made that beautiful check at the line of scrimmage for the 26-yard touchdown to Jacory. The ensuing play from Michigan, 75 yards. What I noticed on the play was Michigan ran into our stunt, meaning, so we had a guy flipping over basically, and one guy, whoever the D tackle was, didn't come across the face of the the guard there. And that opened up a huge lane for that running back. And then Buford came flying down, didn't break down. And I think I tweeted out that it looked like he made a business decision. It looked like he wanted no part of Justice Haynes running through him.
Yeah.
And then on the third, let me scroll real quick. Sorry. 3rd and 9, halfback screen. This was on Michigan's final drive. Dasan McCullough came flying into the field with no breaking down, blew the tackle, turned into a 15-yard gain.
Yeah.
And then 3rd and 5, 10.5 remaining. Literally the third down prior to that is when Syer Wright came flying in.
Yep. And then again, Syer Wright just needs to go. Like, he just needs to grab him at the hips. Did you notice that play where they tackled Jacory Barney in the open field? Did you see what that player did?
Yes, that was on the
around his hips. He used leverage and grabbed him around his hips, because you know why? You know how to take somebody's leverage away from him. Attack their hips. Their center of gravity all hinges on that midpoint of the body, that center line of the body, right? You attack that center line of the body, you get the head going over the toes. Okay, they're off balance, right?
Yeah.
Or you get the back of their head going over their heels, they're off balance, right? Attack the hips. Sierra goes for the shoulders, his hand slips off, right? When you have a chance to grab them around the waist, you can hook that waist and you can pull them, and you can pull them back with you. They need to just lower their level and stop trying to tackle so high. I know see what Sierra was doing there. I think he's just flying to the ball trying to make a play. And I'm sitting here, you know, armchair quarterback and sitting from my couch, like, go for his hips. I get that, right? But at the same time, like, he's got to know in that moment, like, I have to make this tackle, so I have to make a safe tackle. That has to be in his mind. That has to be in every defender's mind on that drive, that, like, we have to be sure tackling right here. We can't rush this. Sure tackle. Get the tackle. If he gets the first down, like, I'm not going to be responsible for a broken tackle. At the very end of it, I'm getting him down.
Yep. And I don't know what happened today. I feel like their tackling was fairly good prior. You said they were fifth national.
Tackle rate.
So, you know, maybe, you know, part of that is probably you're playing worse competition. But also, I think part of it too is Michigan's physicality. I saw somebody on Twitter or X saying, like, oh, Nebraska's winning the time of possession battle. At that point in time, it was like Nebraska had 31 minutes time of possession, Michigan had 19. And they're like, I don't understand why the defense is so tired. And I'm like, well, because they've been running it at you nonstop for about 17 of those 19 minutes, if not longer. And, like, that's just physically taxing on your body over the course of an entire game.
That time of possession was not built the same. Yeah, not at all. Not at all. You know, Nebraska's time of possession was built up a lot of, you know, the short pass game,